good to have you with us in the 8 p.m. edition of the Urban Debate. We put the spotlight yet again on the big story that everybody is talking about after Mirror Now's news break. The news break that has sent ripples across the nation over this story that everybody was tracking so closely. The developments, the big twist in the Aryan Khan drug case. Mirror Now is the first to interview the independent witness of the case, who goes by the name Prabhakar Sahil. He worked as a personal bodyguard to Kiran Gosavi, who is also a witness in this case. Now, he made some sensational claims, starting by saying that the NCB officials asked him to sign 10 blank papers. The man who was at the NCB office on the day Aryan Khan, along with others, were picked up from the cruise and brought to the office, and then later, much later, arrested officially that night. He claims he was made to sign 10 blank papers. He then goes on to hint at some kind of a money transaction and a deal that was being negotiated, saying Gosavi, who's a witness in this case, and another man called Sam were discussing a 25 crore deal. And then Gosavi said, let's just settle it at 18 crore because 8 have to be given to Wankhede. Samir Wankhede is the man leading the investigation for NCB in this case. The witness also claims he saw Gosavi meet Pooja Dadlani and have a conversation with her inside a car. She is Shah Rukh Khan's manager. He was then told, he claims, to go to Mumbai's Tardeo and collect 50 lakh cash that will be handed over to him, which he did. 2 bags of cash that he came and then gave to Kiran Gosavi. He later says he was asked to go and give this money to that man called Sam. At that point, they realized the money is not 50 lakh. Now it's just 38 lakh. But that's something to investigate later. He claims, and this is a big claim, that he fears he might get abducted. He also fears for his life. He's gone seeking protection from the Mumbai police. This, if you haven't caught the interview, was the gist of it. What has happened since we broke this interview on Sunday morning? Well, this is the first big claim that the witness made. The 2 key ones for me is the fact that he claims he was made to sign blank papers by the NCB and that there was some kind of a conversation about exchange of money, a deal, whether 18 crore or 25 crore. He picked up 50 lakh rupees, indicating at an extortion bid of some kind, linking the witnesses and the NCB officials in the case. The NCB was forced to acknowledge this and said that we will look into the claims being made by this witness. And that's also because he's now gone on record and given an affidavit. It's now in writing. Samir Wankhede on the other side has claimed this is all being done to frame him and that this is nothing but political vendetta. Meanwhile, this man's boss, who's the witness, Kiran Gosavi, allegedly linked to this entire extortion setup, is still on the run. But we spoke to him. And while denying the allegations, he said he will surrender soon. But he's currently on the run, an absconder in a case filed against him in Pune. NCB's bid to block witness affidavit in court also failed. They went to the court here in Mumbai and said, please don't allow any court to take cognizance of this affidavit filed by the witness where he's saying some really big, bizarre things. But the court said, we can't really restrain other courts from taking cognizance. Either go to a higher authority or wait for the relevant court to take it up. Meanwhile, Prabhakar Sahil, after his claims to us about him fearing for life, he's got police protection here in Mumbai. These are the developments. The NCB will send its vigilance team officers to Mumbai to investigate this case. First up, let's go across to Shivani to get you a lowdown on what happened in the court today. You know, NCB went to court. Samir Wankhede had something to say. Series of reactions to this big story. Shivani, take us to the details of what transpired in the courtroom and the court's order.
See, exactly here, a lot of allegations were there by the NCB saying that there is someone who is trying to influence their punches, that is their witnesses, and that is why we can see that how witnesses now are turning against the NCB and the officer, and now they have bought in the money trail inside this entire drug nexus story, where also apart from that, the court understood and that observed the allegations those were claimed by the public prosecutor, that is Advait Setna. Setna continued to say that there are people, those are doing politics with the officer, and they are also trying to malign his image, and that is affecting the line of investigation. He also clearly mentioned that one after another, there are some allegations those are coming against the officer. Apart from that, we can also say that there are some people, those are trying to influence the witnesses, the punches in this particular matter. That's why such ridiculous accusations have come against the investigative officer. Also, the court said that the PP, public prosecutor Advait Setna, mentioned that if the NCB wants to continue the probe, then definitely court must observe this new turns and twists which are coming in the probe, and that's hence they have also written to the DG of NCB to look into the matter, because one affidavit which has been filed by NCB zonal director, that is Samir Wankhede. In that particular affidavit, he clearly mentions that there is an honorable minister who's trying to malign his image, and that is affecting him and his family on their mental status. And apart from that, it is also affecting the line of investigation in this particular matter. It is a defamatory statement which is coming out from the honorable minister, because he's constantly putting his personal details on the honorable minister's Twitter account. That's where this was the major point of conversation and the discussion in the courtroom. The arguments continued, but later what happens is that the court here has disposed the application filed by the NCB. The special judge of NDPS, VV Patil, has said that the matter is sub judice before the Honorable High Court in bail application in the same FIR. There hence no such orders can be passed by the court as prayed. So we can understand as of now that there is no lightness, there is no easiness which has been provided to NCB as of yet. But also apart from that, when we spoke to Samir Wankhede, he said that I was not seeking any help from the court, I'm not seeking any relief from the court. But what I expect is that the court should take the cognizance that such people, those are putting allegations against the agency and the officer, those are doing the investigation, be probed. So now we can see that tomorrow and day after tomorrow is going to be a major point of discussion, because tomorrow the bail hearing is going to take place in the High Court, and after that bail hearing, we can assume that NCB will come out with some important details.
Right, absolutely, Shivani. And since they've already initiated an investigation and vigilance officers will be looking into these claims, it's going to be also important to see what that team does when they land in Mumbai tomorrow. Keeping a close track of all of these developments. Thanks, Shivani, so much for bringing us these updates from the courtroom. Now, we've been following it from all aspects, and frankly, we don't care about the political fight. We don't even care about all other controversies that may be linked to Samir Wankhede and his personal life or what he does there. But he is the investigating officer in this particular case. And the claim that is being made by a witness of the NCB. The NCB gets these 10 people to become an independent witness when the case is being registered, when the Panchnama is being made. They got this guy, and he is now coming out and making these allegations, indicating that there was an extortion conversation, extortion bid, and somehow also linked to Samir Wankhede. So it is now for the NCB to investigate this. Alok Singh spoke to the Deputy Director General of NCB, Gyaneshwar Singh. The NCB officer who's heading the internal inquiry basis the new revelations said that it is too early to comment whether the zonal director Samir Wankhede will remain in his position or not. Listen in.
Sir, he's an officer and he's heading Mumbai NCB, and he has worked earlier cases also, and now this case is very much prominent, which has also taken the political twist. Sir, what will you say about this case, because you have got the inquiry?
I can't comment on any political twist, but we are in receipt of a report from our SWR office.
Okay.
DDG SWR has sent a report to DG, and he has taken cognizance and ordered an inquiry, which will be conducted by Vigilance Department.
Okay.
So, which will be initiated, and let's hope the truth comes out.
Sir, the affidavit which you have got the affidavit through the mail or through what means, sir?
We received this affidavit on social media, this was circulating. So this has been forwarded by our Mumbai office.
Okay. And sir, about the Wankhede, because he is heading the probe and he is investigating the matter. Since the allegation on him directly, so will he be on the posts or not?
It is, I told you again that it is premature to comment on anybody's role. Let the inquiry be initiated and we'll take a call in the due course.
But how can he continue to be investigating this case when there are such serious issues that have been raised? And I want to take you back to several days ago from where the controversy first began. And it began with the visuals that came out that showed that these two individuals, civilians, non-NCB guys who turned out to be witnesses in the case, had such free access during the raid, detention and arrest. Such free access. If you remember, initially visuals came out of this Gosavi and the other guy linked to the BJP dragging along the accused as if they were the NCB officials, holding the accused's hand, Arbaz's hand, Aryan's hand, and taking them inside the NCB office as if they were the people in charge. Not just that. Then came these visuals. These visuals also show you how the witness, again, Gosavi, is sitting right next to Aryan, making him talk into the phone. What kind of a process was being followed? Investigation really being carried out? This puts serious question marks on the process followed, the investigation being done, the case being made, and all of that under the leadership of the man who himself is now facing several charges and his own department's vigilance inquiry. So why should he be allowed to continue with this investigation? That is the question. Mr. Krishna Hegde, Shiv Sena leader, joins us this evening. Shweta Shalini of the BJP, Aniket Nikam, criminal lawyer, with me this evening. Ashutosh Srivastava, advocate with the Supreme Court. Dibankar Banerjee, ex-narcotics officer, also joining me this evening. And I want to start off with Aniket. We've had a series of conversations earlier also, Aniket, on this case. But, you know, when a witness in the case, the number one witness in the case, goes on record, on camera, in writing, in an affidavit, and makes certain claims, then it's a whole different ball game. These are not just speculations. These are not just political charges, counter charges, randomly things being said in thin air. This is a very crucial part of the case, a man who's crucial to the case making these claims. Now, how does that change the whole legal scenario?
Tanvi, there are a few dates that we have to understand. Mr. Aryan Khan was arrested on 3rd of October, and then his bail application was heard before the magistrate court. It was heard before the sessions court. He was remanded to NCB custody initially, then in judicial custody. And somewhere on 24th of October, this witness has gone on air and to media and have leveled certain sorts of allegations against the investigating agency and officers of the investigating agency. Now, the first question that I would ask to myself is, why this delay? If really this was the position, why these allegations or why these statements were not made earlier when Mr. Khan was arrested immediately? That's number one. Number two, filing an affidavit or swearing something in an affidavit would not really, considering in the eyes of law, would not have so much of an evidentiary value, because this is not before the court of law, number one. Number two, any piece of witness or any piece of evidence has to be tested by set principles of Evidence Act, which means that if any witness is saying something, he has to be tested in cross-examination. Now, what he has done, this witness, is he has prepared some sort of affidavit outside court and making and leveling certain sorts of allegations. Now, all these allegations will have to be looked into, whether they are true, whether they are not true, why they have been leveled at such a belated stage. And I believe, I just heard you were saying that a team of NCB is going to do an internal probe about it. But the question also remains is, why this delay? If really this was the case, why these allegations were not leveled earlier and why now? So all these aspects will have to be looked into, and legally speaking, such sorts of affidavits which are not sworn before any judicial officer or not a part of any judicial proceeding outside court affidavits would not have so much of an evidentiary value until and unless they are tested before the court of law by way of a cross-examination.
So exactly the point that I wanted to highlight, Aniket. Essentially, while this is written on camera, NCB has taken cognizance of it and are doing their own investigation. The question also to be asked is, why is this not in court yet? Ideally, this witness who sought police protection because he fears for his life, and actually to answer your question about why this delay is a build-up of what he claims has happened so far. The fact that everything turned on its head when he realized that his boss's picture was out there in public, linking him to Aryan Khan. And that his boss after that went missing, packed up his bags in the detailed interview that he gave us and went missing. And then he realized, as you know, the details began to emerge of what exactly was this setup. He then saw that one of the other aides of Kiran Gosavi, just like him, in Pune has also been arrested. He now claims that he fears for his life from NCB and from others, and that he might get abducted because this whole situation has become so dirty. It's become so murky. There are all kinds of politics involved, all kinds of camps that have been played. You know, everybody's out there to save themselves and to prove a point. And so for him, perhaps, the only way to save himself was to come out publicly and speak about it, Aniket.
Tanvi, you are right. He may be fearing for his life, and for that may be the reason why he did not come out earlier. But then the fact remains that whatever he says has to be corroborated.
Right.
Now, anybody can come and level allegations. Anybody can level allegations at any point in time. The question is, what is there to corroborate his version? Otherwise, it is my word against his word or their word against somebody else's word. So it would have only a particular weight when there is anything to corroborate whatever he's saying. Now, corroboration would be required when he is quoting a particular incident. Now, all these series of incidents that he is quoting, it has to have something to back it up. Unless that is not there, otherwise it is simply his stand or his word, and probably someone may say that he is doing this in order to save his employer, Mr. Gosavi, or probably to try to gain some publicity. You know, one wouldn't know. But then there has to be corroboration to whatever he is saying. And now that he has stated something on an affidavit, though the evidentiary value of it is suspect, however, the NCB itself seems to be looking into it, and there are other mechanisms also how it can be looked into it and gone into it.
Yes, and I suspect that other investigative agencies will definitely at some point get into the picture, considering the political connotations to this entire story. But let me ask Mr. Dipankar Banerjee on the process that is. When claims of such nature, Mr. Banerjee, are made against a senior officer and a vigilance inquiry is initiated, should he be allowed to continue leading the same case?
First of all, let me tell you, that is the most peculiar, this case has been done in the most peculiar circumstances. I have heard that witness, I have seen in my 37 years of service, witnesses turn hostile. But I've never come across a case where the witnesses turned hostile during the stage of investigation. Now, he has made certain allegations of bribery and all that, that money was being asked for, extortion and all that. But he has not made any allegation regarding the seizure. The main thing is the seizure. He has not made any allegation whether the seizure was improper or nothing was recovered and all that, or just Mr. Aryan Khan was brought and he has been arrested without any findings and all that. He has not made such an allegation. But of course, he has said that he was made to sign in 10 blank papers. That is important. That's a very serious allegation. But at the same time, he has not said anything about the actual seizure. Now, I would say that since he has not made any allegation about the seizure, there is nothing wrong with the way this seizure has been done. There is nothing wrong in the way seizure has been done. So, investigation will have to be continued on the basis of the seizure records. Now, generally, the seizing officer is not the investigating officer of the cases. The courts generally do not like it. They want that the seizing officer should be different. The investigation officer should be some other person, not the seizing officer, because he will be biased. He will do it as per the seizing records. Now, investigating officer's duty is to find the actual truth. So
Right.
here, we do not know whether the seizing officer is the investigating officer. Now, I don't think that the investigating officer should be changed, because the allegation has not been made against the investigating officer.
No, but it has been, because what he has raised as a point is about a conversation of an alleged extortion bid, including money that would have been given to this person. Secondly, and for me actually, while the extortion bid, whether it happened or didn't happen, or conversations were being done with the knowledge of Mr. Wankhede or not, or they were still just planning to give him the money, all of that is a matter of investigation. But when a witness claims, Mr. Banerjee, that I was made to sign blank papers by the NCB, to me, that's a very, very serious charge. You are a witness and they're making you sign blank papers. Why is that? The whole point of a witness is to corroborate what the investigative agency is doing.
I agree with you. That's a very serious allegation that he has been made to sign the blank papers. But at the same time, as we have said, that this particular witness, he had dragged the accused persons. He was there with the accused persons since the time of the seizure.
No,
How will he explain
wasn't.
this?
He wasn't.
First,
It's
let me
the
explain
others. It's the others, not the
One
same
was
man.
present there.
Not the same man. His boss was the one dragging the accused.
The other witnesses, you mean to say?
Yes. The witness who's allegedly the one who, plotting the extortion, the witness who's allegedly the one plotting the extortion was
Mr.
the one
Gai
who
or
had
whatever it is,
unabashed
yeah.
access to the accused inside the NCB office and during the raid, and holding and leading the accused.
Yeah, that's a very serious allegation. It means that it has to be proved that the witness was not an independent witness. Whenever we go for a raid or a seizure, we must have independent witnesses, not pocket witnesses. Pocket witnesses should not be allowed. Independent. In this case, it has to be proved that this fellow, this Mr. Gawa, was not an independent witness, or he was a pocket witness.
Yes,
Then
okay.
only can the actual thing proceed, the case will proceed.
Okay, before I go across to the
Investigation will
political representatives, let me bring in Ashutosh Srivastava on this point as well. Ashutosh, the concept of having 10 witnesses present and signing the Panchnama is to ensure that, you know, in the eyes of law, you've proven that you followed everything by rule, by protocol. But if now there are big question marks on 3 of those witnesses, then what does that mean?
See, first of all, I do not find there is substantial delay in making such a statement, because the matter is already under investigation. The investigating agency is already doing the investigation. No charge sheet has been filed as of now, and the investigation is in progress. Obviously, if some witness is making such kind of serious allegation, then it has to be taken into consideration so far as the investigation is going on. The way this witness says that he was made to sign blank papers, it's a very serious concern. And now I feel that prima facie, it can be found out very well that if he says that there was a meeting on 3rd October with these 3 people who were sitting at a place in Lower Parel. So obviously, the mobile location of all these 3 people and the CDR, call detail or records of all these people can be found out, can be traced out. So if he is making a statement, because there cannot be a coincidence that 3 different people are sitting at one place at a particular time, that too just immediately after the arrest. So if it comes out that there was something like that, then there is some, issue related to it, and that has to be investigated in a fair manner. But if nothing comes out, after doing all this prima facie, this primary investigation, then obviously the matter can continue. Obviously, the department has already initiated its own inquiry, and that we will have to see as to in which direction it goes to. But I think all these aspects would be very, very important. And people would also like to know, because everybody is waiting for the justice and to know the truth as to what happened, whether this kind of, the seizure and everything, happened. Was it really, it took place, or is it really an incident which took place, or it is just planted in such a manner that, so many other people are also involved. I'm not denying if certain substance has been recovered, how it has been recovered and all, that is a part of investigation. But if the investigation is into question, that then the people and also the accused and everybody involved into the case has to be satisfied that the investigation is being done fairly, and the justice can be meted out to the concerned people.
Yes. Well, the fact is that this is just step one on day one that has happened after we brought out this interview. Now, we don't know the merits of his claims, but we believe that the NCB and the others will have to look into that and find out. And the NCB, Shweta Shalini, has begun that action, because it cannot be denied that if indeed these charges are real, these allegations are real, then it's very, very serious, and the whole case could go down just because of these issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Shweta Shalini, what surprises me? It surprises me. Yeah, Tanvi, what surprises me? It surprises me that when we were talking about Mansukh Hiren murder, it was amazing that the entire panel was taking the side of Parambir Singh and calling this same police as the Scotland Yard police. And today, when it is Aryan Khan, everybody seems to be questioning the police also. Anyways, I don't expect much from media, and selective listening, selective presentation is something that keeps happening in the media. But coming back to facts, I think Aniket ji said it. This affidavit is nothing but plain piece of paper until it is corroborated and presented in front of the courts. So let me not talk about the affidavit. Are the allegations serious? Yes, of course, it is very, very serious, and that's why you see that an internal inquiry has already been set up. Now, there are a couple of questions that I want to ask. One, if I think Ashutosh ji just said it, there is a Congress, there is a three-party government in Maharashtra. They could have easily taken out the mobile locations and corroborated the fact that these three mobile numbers were together. Why did they not do it? Why did they not set up a state committee to and present the case, the entire allegation in front of them? Why is it that when Sharad Pawar ji and the likes of Nawab Malik have been coming on to the camera, going in public, yet the Prabhakar took 22 days to come in front with these facts? And coming to the merits of the case, please go back and check. Prabhakar joined 2 months before. You think an employee who is joined 2 months before will be allowed to carry some 18 crore of cash or some whatever crores of cash?
50 lakh.
I don't think so. But yet, I'm not the judge,
50
and
lakh.
neither are you, thankfully. And the fact is that, yes, 50 lakhs. You think anybody will give a 2-month-old employee 1 lakh cash also to carry? But I'm not the judge, and neither are you, thankfully. And I would rest my case and say that I'm sure that an internal inquiry will be done so that the allegations can be inquired. But I would also request the state to set up a committee so that Pooja Dadlani and Shah Rukh Khan can be called in and asked if they have been a part of extortion and they have given out the money that this witness is claiming. And if so, then why did they not come in front of the NCB or the Mumbai police? Because Nawab Malik and Sharad Pawar ji have been coming in support
Shweta Shalini, the sense that I get
of the entire fraternity.
The sense that I get from all the questions that you're asking here, even though you're a panelist to answer my questions, but the sense that I get that all the questions that you are asking here, barring the bashing of media, which of course is everybody's favorite pastime today, and politicians are welcome to do that as well, it doesn't matter to me, but you want Maharashtra government to answer your questions, to investigate this, even though it's a case being handled and dealt by a central agency, the Narcotics Control Bureau. You want every Maharashtra government to do this? The same Maharashtra government whose police force you keep questioning, whose investigation into several other cases and their police's investigation into several other cases you keep questioning. 1 minute. I heard you out. Now please, no. Now you will hear me, Shweta Shalini, because I heard you out and I allowed you to finish your point. Now don't try to talk over me when I am countering your point with basic facts. Today you are saying, why doesn't this government, an alliance of three parties, investigate? Why don't they pull out the call data records and see where these people were? Why don't they ask Shah Rukh Khan this question? Why don't they ask so-and-so this question? You are saying Maharashtra government should do it. And the same police, जिसको वसूली सरकार, वसूली पुलिस, ये सब. और आज आप एक शब्द नहीं पूछेंगे NCB से कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं. I don't have sides to take. I don't take sides whether it's the police or the Narcotics Control Bureau or the CBI or the BJP or the Shiv Sena. But if you are going to sit here tonight and attack me and my channel of being selective, Shweta Shalini, I will expose your selective behavior.
Go out on media and social media.
Please, if आपको इतनी मीडिया से प्रॉब्लम है तो आप आते क्यों हैं डिबेट्स पे?
If this hurts you, Tanvi ji, if this
Shweta
hurts you,
Shalini,
it better
if
hurt
you are
you.
going to
But
accuse
what I'm
me of
basically
being
trying to
selective,
say
then
is,
have
we
the
have
courage
set up-
to hear it
we
when I
have
expose
set
your
up-
duplicity.
Yes, did you
Have the
inform
courage
your
to listen to me when I
that
expose your
Prabhakar was
duplicity.
just 2 months old in his new job? Did you inform your audience that Prabhakar was just 2 months old in his
Yes,
job?
he did. He did
And let's
in
not
the
go into
interview.
the merit of the case.
Read the case details. Read the interview. Watch the interview, Shweta Shalini.
But please
Shweta
go back
Shalini.
and look at the recording
Again.
of today's program. You have never mentioned it that he was just 2 months old in his job. You did not mention it today.
Shweta Shalini, this just
And
goes on
hence
to
I
show
will not
that
go
you
into the merit of
selectively
the
watch
case.
media
What I'm
channels
practically
and you
saying
don't,
is
selectively
I
watch.
have-
Okay, is she not going to allow me to talk on this show?
Extremely clearly that you have been talking
Go
in
ahead.
the entire show, Tanvi ji,
Go
but
ahead,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
going to allow you to talk something which is wrong.
Finish your
You
point.
have called me here.
You asked me a
have
question. Do you
called
want me to
here
answer your
give me
question
the
or not?
facts.
Do you want me to
What
answer the
makes
question
you
or
so
not?
upset? Just because I called you out, I called you out because you have been pinpointing a finger on an honest officer who's trying to break a drug cartel. And there are umpteen number of ministers who are sitting, very, very powerful people who are trying to stop him from working. Well and good. Then they are as it is abusing power. Please go ahead and abuse more power and ensure that at least you get it right in the court of law. At least you get it right legally. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Point number one, as part of the interview itself and the affidavit that was broken first here on Mirror Now, in the affidavit, if you've bothered to read that, we have told to our viewers, it very clearly says he started working for him in the month of July this year. It's been brought out, highlighted here on Mirror Now. Now, while you make charges of selectively talking, highlighting of the media, I think you selectively track media and selectively watch media and often miss out on the facts. So maybe your research team can help you with those facts. Now that I have exposed
mention
your
it today
duplicity
in
about
today's episode?
questioning
Did
the
you
Maharashtra government on taking action, let me go across to Mr. Hegde and respond to you.
Did you
Mr.
mention it
Hegde,
today? You mentioned so many things
Mr. Hegde, madam, please watch the facts before you come and make allegations here. That's my plain and simple point to you. The facts have been presented here. Mr. Hegde, Mr. Hegde,
did you mention it today?
please respond to Shweta Shalini because apparently even the NCB's job has to be done by the Maharashtra government and the Maharashtra police now.
No, I'm very thankful she said that the Maharashtra police should investigate. And if Samir Wankhede was so honest and so right, why is the central agency of the NCB investigating this case and sending 3 senior officers of the rank of Deputy General of Police of, narcotics? The second thing is, like yesterday also I gave an example of the BJP being double-faced. I would like to again say, who are the main characters involved in this entire case? One is Manish Bhanushali, who's the vice president of BJP. The second is Yasmin Wankhede, who is the sister of Samir Wankhede. Second is her friend, that is Fletcher Patel, who's a family friend of the Wankhedes, who is a witness in 3 cases. Then there is Sam D'Souza, who is one of the biggest Hawala contractors of Mumbai and India. He is also a witness. Then he brings in Gosavi, who is wanted in 4 cases in Pune, Kalyan, Thane and other places, who is saying that now I am going to surrender to the police, but outside Maharashtra. And you have this whole bunch of people who are witnesses in this case. Another one of the witnesses who was Gosavi's bodyguard has come forward and exposed them. Now, is this a Samir Wankhede private limited company which is going on in the Narcotics Bureau of Mumbai? That is the first question I want to ask. And if Samir Wankhede is so nice and honest and clean person, why is the Narcotics Bureau sending officers from Delhi to investigate him? And the Deputy Director General has already said that they are investigating the case. Secondly, we all know that this is a high-profile extortion case. It is now extremely clear. And to defend the indefensible, I do not think is right. And BJP can keep defending. And then why is the Home Ministry sending people to investigate Wankhede? Now, regarding all these people who are involved in this case, the bodyguard has come forward and said very clearly that he has been made to sign 10 blank papers.
Yes.
The Panchnama was not taken at the cruise. It was taken at the NCB office. And who are the people sitting in the NCB office? Sam D'Souza is sitting in the NCB office. Is he waiting for the money to come in so that he can do the hawala? People have to answer all these questions. You cannot just keep defending someone and say that he is right and he is honest and he is not. Even what Nawab Malik ji has given out his birth certificate today, where it is very clear, and if it is proved, that he has changed his name to get into the IRS quota. And if this is proved, I am sure that, very high level of inquiry and very high level of action can be taken against Samir Wankhede if all this is true.
If all this is true, now let me again make this point very clear.
No one is watching, but people in the Maharashtra government, people in the center, they are all watching and they are looking what kind of extortion is happening. And when such officers go beyond their means and try to extort money from people, someone steps in and puts a stop.
Well, Mr. Hegde, well, just like I don't have faith on one side, I don't have faith on the other side. If Maharashtra government stood so much up against extortion and the kind of extortion nexus that exists, by now you would have found Parambir Singh and brought him and asked him the questions and looked into the case. But that's also not happening because there it's not convenient for the Maharashtra government to do. So let's just see, call a spade a spade, and that this case is political for both sides, just like it was in the case where Parambir Singh was involved, just like it was either the money explosives case or the Mansukh Hiren case or the case before that or even the Sushant case. Everything in this country boils down to simply politics and charge versus countercharge. What happens in that process is that we lose out on the real case, the real facts and the real information. And I want to go back to that. And Aniket, I'm asking you this question. 3 of those 10 witnesses now face a massive big question mark against their names. The most latest one is the one who seems to have turned hostile in a sense for that very case itself. The other 2, again, because of the access that they had, the access to the accused, the fact that they were able to talk to him, record things or make him talk on the phone. Now, I don't know what Gosavi was making him do, whether Aryan was recording something into the phone, talking to somebody in the phone, but the same Gosavi has been accused of now plotting extortion. Now, that for me poses serious question marks over NCB and NCB's process that they have followed here.
Well, in matters like this, when Panchanama is being carried out, Pancha witnesses have to be independent persons. Now, in what we have seen over here is that these Pancha witnesses were too friendly with the accused persons and they were seen talking, etc., etc. Now, ideally, it ought not to have been in this manner. But then since the matter is sub judice and it is under investigation, I would not comment much upon it. However, the fact remains that there is this one witness, Prabhakar. I do not know if he is a Panch witness or not. He claims to be the bodyguard of one Mr. Gosavi. Has leveled certain sorts of allegations. Now, NCB has deputed its own senior officers in order to look into these allegations. Because as I said earlier, Tanvi, that these allegations have been leveled belatedly. Even 1 day's delay is a delay. And in this case, there has been a delay, I would say, of 20 to 22 days. Now, the fact remains that why was he silent for so long? He may be scared of his life, but then why is he not scared anymore? And we have also to see that is he trying to shield or support his employer, Mr. Gosavi? So all these are points which will have to be looked into. There are certain allegations being leveled against a particular officer. which I would say are serious in nature. However, but by this itself, it would not mean that they are true in nature.
Right.
They will have to be looked into. If he has stated something, it has to be corroborated. The chain of circumstances have to be established, and only then one can, infer that this investigation perhaps was not fair. But in order to reach to that conclusion, all these allegations will have to be substantiated by substantial proof. Merely by filing an affidavit or doing an affidavit on a piece of paper outside court is not enough.
Okay, so who would do that? That's the other question then. And let me take that across to Ashutosh. Ashutosh, in a case where allegations have been made against an NCB official and a Vigilance Department inquiry has been initiated, will we expect
Yes.
the Vigilance Department itself to look into the call data records, locations, find the
Yes.
other people who've been named, get them to testify? Will it all be done by them?
See, first of all, the allegation he has made is against some of the officers. So obviously the allegation is not against the entire department. And, we should appreciate at least that the department NCB has come up with its own investigation against its own officers. And now it is expected the way the department has initiated without any further delay such an investigation, internal inquiry. We should hope that something come out of this internal inquiry which they are conducting against their own officers, and that will lead to the further conclusion of the matter. And I think this investigation should not be influenced by any political issues the way we are discussing. It should be done fairly, because if somebody has done something wrong, should be punished as per law. But if some innocent has been unnecessarily implicated, whoever, whether it is an officer or any accused, then, they should not be unnecessarily implicated or should not be, forced to, go through the process of law. So that also has to be seen in the right manner, in the right spirit. So I feel that the matter is going now in the right direction. At least the officers are being inquired upon. And if something comes out, obviously the investigation should be given to some other person who is not influenced or has got nothing to do with it, so that a fair investigation is expected. Else, if nothing comes out against the officers on whose name, these allegations have been made, then obviously the same officers should continue the way they are doing. And obviously the courts are there to look upon as to what kind of investigation is going on. It is always under the supervision of the court. And obviously the bail matter is also before the High Court. I'm sure the High Court will also look into the minute details of the investigation so far while considering the bail petition.
Right. But before I go back to political representatives, very quickly, one more question. What else happened in court today, Aniket, was that the NCB went to the court and said, well, don't, seeking that they bar any court from taking cognizance of this so-called affidavit. If the affidavit itself hasn't been submitted in court right now and isn't a concern, and the NCB believes there is nothing there, why go to the court and ask for such a blanket bar? Of course, rightly so. That's why the court also said that we can't get into this or bar any other court.
You're asking to me?
No, Aniket Nikam, please.
Well, I don't know what prompted them to move such an application seeking a... well, Tanvi, I wouldn't know what prompted them to move such an application seeking such a wide and open-ended relief. But the court rightly said that court cannot injunct anybody, nor court can pass such a blanket order. Probably the reason why they must have done it is because they were apprehensive, that they thought somebody may try to make use of that affidavit and approach some authority, and in order to avert that, probably that is why they filed it. However, the court has passed an order. It's a judicial order. Now it is for the NCB to look into it and decide the further course of action.
Okay. Shweta Shalini earlier wanted to respond to what Mr. Hegde was saying. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Krishna ji is talking about extortion. The entire Sarkar has been named as the Vasuli Sarkar. It has been proven. Many of his ministers and MLAs and MPs are absconding. His commissioner is not to be found. His home minister is not to be found. Irrespective of all of that, he goes ahead and talks about extortion racket. that is being done by Sameer Wankhede is quite amazing. He also talked about the birth certificate that allegedly Nawab Malik ji has put. Please go ahead and look at the birth certificate. It clearly shows a star and a correction which has been done there. But nonetheless, I don't think this Sarkar actually gets into details or gets into work. So he wouldn't know what a birth certificate really looks like. Also, Tanvi, just wanted to point out, you said a couple of times that let's come back to the real case. Let's come back to the real case. The real case is the drug case. And we have not spoken about it for the last, I think, 42 minutes. So you need to understand, yes, the corruption angle, somebody has allegedly come ahead. Please don't forget, this is the same Bollywood which turned a BMW into a truck. So yes, a witness has, gone hostile. I understand that. There is an internal inquiry which is already been formed. There is a committee which is looking into it. But more importantly, the real case is the drug case. Well, and that witness has said nothing about the
You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Shweta Shalini, you are absolutely right that the real case is the drug case. The real problem in this country is the drug problem that nobody wants to talk about. But I have a concern simply because, A, on day one, we realized that the so-called independent witnesses had such access to the accused that they were the ones holding the accused and walking them around as if they are the people in charge and the NCB officials. That is a breach of the protocol. Secondly, then we found out that not only did they do that, they were nicely sitting inside with these accused, talking God knows what, making recordings on the phone, even though they're supposed to be independent witnesses, there to only corroborate the raid conducted, what has been seized, who was present there, and what did they see. Thirdly, now let me just finish. Thirdly, then another third independent witness turns hostile and makes very serious allegations. Fourth, I'm not done yet. Fourth, the NCB in this case goes to the cruise, carries out a raid clearly with one specific, agenda of the tip-off that they had. So the one search is conducted, they come back with these 8 people, they allow the cruise to go. The cruise and the ship and the people on board have continued with their party. They have continued with their party for 3 days. Then 3 days later, when they come back, by then NCB has investigated something more and realized, oops, maybe we have missed something. They go back to the same cruise. I have not finished yet. You can come in when I am finished. The basic rules of any discussion, Shweta Shalini. They allow the cruise to go. A very important part of their case, investigation, where they conducted this raid. The cruise comes back. They go back, carry out another search, pick up more people. This is the way the investigation has happened. So I am sorry today if you don't like it that I am focusing and asking only questions about the way the investigation has been done. Not even once have I uttered a word about Mr. Wankhede's personal life, his birth certificate, or where he holidays. I have only asked questions linked to this case, and since he is the man who is leading this investigation at the forefront of it, and serious questions are now being asked about his involvement, why should he be allowed? It's as simple as that. Now you can please go ahead and respond.
Anvi, I would like to get in here.
Yes, Krishna Hegde coming to you in just a bit.
I will take just 30 seconds. I will just take 30 seconds, Krishna ji.
Okay.
Point number 1, Tanvi, you did not find this out. This is Nawab Malik ji who found out and pointed it out, because obviously his tummy was aching. His son-in-law had returned back from NCB jail after 6 months. Please do not forget, for the last 2 years, about 106 cases have been, 106 people have been arrested. 223 cases have been registered. 37 foreigners. NCB has done all of this. And about 12 hardcore gangs have been taken into custody. And this is the same Sameer Wankhede which we are questioning right now. And yes, coming to the last point, it is very clear I belong, and I'm very happy if Krishna ji says that they were our Karyakartas. Forget about this. Our Karyakarta does not sit at home when my son-in-law is sniffing Vanaspati. They go ahead. If they find out something, they inform. And after an information was given, a raid was conducted. If you have some problem, please go to the court. That's what we have been saying. We have zero tolerance for corruption. We are not the Vasili Sarkar.
Okay.
You go to court,
Tanvi,
prove that
I think
process was not, due
Shweta ji-
process was not followed, and we will follow through.
Okay, so either the media is selective and doesn't ask questions, and when
Tanvi,
we
I would
ask
like to
questions, we
answer
are
this
told
here.
go to court.
I would
Why
just
will
like
the
to
government
inform
answer
Shweta
your
ji, I
questions?
don't
You
think
should
she
go
has
to
read the
court
court
if you
order.
have a problem for everything. Krishna Hegde, go ahead,
Let me
please.
complete this now. Maybe Shweta ji has not read the court order. The court order has clearly said that in the Nawab Malik son-in-law case, the material which was found was flavored tobacco. Secondly, if you are coming to the drug case of Aryan, did he have drugs? No. Was there drugs found on him? No. Was there a medical done? No. Then what is the drugs case about? The drugs case is about Archit, who was not on the cruise, and he had 2.6 grams of ganja. Then there was Munmun Damecha, who had 4 grams of ganja. Then there was Arbaz Merchant, who had 6 grams of ganja, and the others didn't have anything. So what's the big issue here? The issue is that there was a big scale
You
extortion
forgot
racket
about Ria's
which was
brother.
going to take
He
place.
didn't have a single
And
penny. There was no ganja, no nothing that was found out of him. Yet he was part of a large cartel because he was in a WhatsApp
and there was no-
chat. There is
and
electronic
firstly, you
evidences.
cannot-
And
No,
court considers
Shweta
electronic
Shalini,
evidences.
those are charges. Those are charges, Shweta Shalini, yet to be proven in law. I'm sorry, I will remind you and everybody in this panel and our viewers as I wrap up this show and say thank you to everybody. The example being quoted here, whether it's of Riya Chakravarti or her brother Shouvik Chakravarti, the fact of the matter is those things is yet to be proven in court of law and anybody found guilty. Now, the benchmarks can't change and the standards can't change for those who are one day defending somebody and the other day attacking somebody. If they're charges of corruption, extortion, drugs, drug smuggling, drugs consumption or drug peddling, those charges have to be treated as that investigation sought. That doesn't mean that we don't ask questions. It doesn't mean that we don't report on it. And right now, the big story is the fact that the NCB's Vigilance Department will investigate the charges, the allegations made by this witness. But to me, there are at least 5 different reasons and instances why there's a big question mark on the way this raid, this arrest and investigation was conducted. When 3 out of your 10 witnesses have become controversies by themselves, questions must be asked. When one witness is making big claims of money being exchanged, of big names being involved, questions must be asked. When the investigative agency allows the cruise to sail away, the same cruise where they found the people and the drugs, and goes back 3 days later when the cruise returns, questions must be asked. Politics aside, filter it out. Filter out what the BJP has to say, what the NCP has to say, what motives Nawab Malik has, and what he has to say. Look at what the evidence is in front of you. Look at what the facts are in front of you. And the facts are that a witness has turned hostile. The facts are that we have visuals of the unabashed access that these so-called independent witnesses got. We also have written legal facts about how these witnesses themselves have a very shady background. One of them is an absconder right now, wanted by the police in a case that was filed against him 2 years later. One of them has high-level political connections. So why should questions not be asked on the way this entire process was done, a raid conducted, people detained? If anybody is guilty of consuming, selling or smuggling drugs, they must be brought to book irrespective of who they are. But if there is foul play, that too needs to be looked into. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.